goofy little thing that I do not wish to relive again.
What? It was great.
No.
You're like, no, never again. All right, so doing it from the beginning again?
Yeah.
So like we previously stated, which isn't going to be known by anybody because we're literally starting again for like the third time.
I like how you just go straight to it. Yes, and to a more professional and, you know, have an enunciation to your voice so they can hear every clarity that comes out, every word, every...
The thing is that I feel like if I don't do this, I mumble way too much and then people are going to be like, bro, what are you saying?
I mumble a lot too. I just...
You know, and the thing is that mumble rap might have been popular in the 2010s. But we're in the 2020s, my good sir. It is no longer that popular. We could no longer become famous as mumble rappers.
We're just special. That's all it is.
And I'm kind of tired of people telling me, you mumble too much.
You're too quiet.
That too. They say that a lot too. They're like, we can't hear you. Speak up. And I'm like, this is my voice range. And I am sorry.
But yeah, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead. You may.
Previously, as I was speaking, before I was really interrupted, I was saying about the fact that it has been quite some time since we've been here. And although I have seen you guys,
yeah,
we have not gotten together as podcast brethren and held
because
sessions of
we're missing our sermon,
podcast.
Our great leader to give us guidance.
Kaz is not with us today. Neither is Joshua. Josh had to take the day off from us because he was feeling a little under the weather. Yeah. And Cass had pressing matters at hand, and he could also not be here. But I was thinking to myself, it's been quite some time that we've been able to get together and do something.
Yeah, we should just do it.
And I kind of figured that, yeah.
Just get together and start trying to hit it again. Like, get back into it.
If it's one, if it's two, if it's all four of us, we're going to try to do this. It's like starting a New Year resolution early, like 2 months early.
Resolution.
Yes, because I kind of thinking about it the other day.
A premature resolution.
I like, oh my god, it got out of hand. No, because the other day I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't want to wait, you know, because everybody's talking about I mean, we're like in February, you know,
like waiting to put it off. I'm like the same way too, because I was like, there's a lot on my end too that I was dealing with, especially with my living situation and all that, but like I could have tried a little bit more to try to push them out, and like you said, like, man, we just need to get together and start doing it and actually try to commit to it.
The thing is, like, I filmed some stuff by myself, and I got kind of lazy, so I haven't even like finished editing.
That's another point too. Like I got lazy
so
too.
I know. Now it's kind of like one of my points. I was kind of telling myself, I'm like, I got like a whole bunch of projects that I started throughout the year, and I finished maybe 2 of them.
Yep. And
then I was like, well, you know.
Yeah, I know how that is. You know, you have the whole like, goal set in mind. And you're just like, I've only done like one thing, or I'm halfway done with this one, and I'm not finished with it.
Yeah. But, you know, from last year, I think we talked about it in the podcast last October. So about a year and a month ago. It's November now. When we were kind of going to do the little challenge and stuff about losing weight and stuff. I lost close to 60 pounds in a year.
Oh, well, I jumped back and forth. Oh. So I'm back where I'm at. So I went down and went back up.
Yeah, so I like it.
It's like, just like that song. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's cool. But personally, that was like a good, like, that was kind of like the biggest, like, mindset goal that I had throughout the year. It was like I wanted to get down to a certain weight. I mean, because they were talking about like before the pandemic, I was around 240, and then
dude, we're all big.
Yeah. No, I mean like that's.
Oh no,
that's how I was. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was around, I'm just saying, like in general, like when I'm thinking about it, like when you said you want to start, I was like, dude, we're all.
Yeah.
Whew. You could say we were loving life.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, like before the pandemic, I was around 240. So we're talking about like. Well, actually, no, because it wasn't even a little bit before that. Like when I started college.
Yeah.
And then I started, like, I went like full time to like school, and I was working full time. So I was taking 5 classes, and then I was working the 40 hours at work. So we're talking like 2018, beginning of 2019, and that's kind of when I started putting off the gym. Because before that, I was going twice.
Oh, dude,
I was going like
I'm in the same boat as you. I remember.
Yeah, I was going like twice a week. Yeah, and then. But, and then the pandemic didn't help, and that's kind of when I jumped because
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
I'm just like, dude, you're bringing up the pandemic, dude. I was so good because I was all about the fitness, and I started dropping so much weight and putting back on all the muscle I had when I was younger. And then the pandemic, first of all, we lost the house because we got kicked out of it. Then the fucking pandemic happened, and during that time, I had to move. I lost the house, and then we had to live in a hotel. Then I had to move 3 times during the pandemic. And I'm like, bro, and the whole time I'm freaking doing this, I'm just like, I'm hanging out with you guys drinking, and I go home. There's like, we don't have like a actual oven or anything, so it's fast food, beer, fast food, soda. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus. It ended up killing me.
Yep. I mean, it was kind of. I mean, I didn't get kicked out. I've been in the same place for years, but when it comes to like the fitness part of it, yeah, because I was going to the gym like twice a week. I mean, twice a day, like 4 days a week, you know. And then when I started going to college full time and I was working full time, I stopped for the most part. And then that's kind of that was when I started, because I gained like 15 pounds during that time. That was around like 250 something, 260. But then after like the pandemic, it just shut everything down. Even all my classes became online, so I wasn't even leaving the house. I was going to work and coming home. And then because we worked at a grocery store, I was coming home with snacks almost every day.
No, definitely, dude, bro. When I met Josh, when I was like in my little fitness stage, I was closing at the time, and we would go home and play like Overwatch every night for like 3 or 4 hours, dude. And when we'd leave work, we would literally come out with bags full of snacks. And I was just like, wow, this is killing me. And after the pandemic, I the only comfort I had during that time, like to have my stuff, was my computer and my PlayStation. And so I was definitely coming home with snacks every day, sitting there, dude. So, ooh.
Yeah.
Especially working around all that food, dude. There's times when you be stocking stuff, you're like, man, those cookies look good.
Yeah.
And you get off the clock, and like, yep, I'm buying those.
Yep. Or something, you know, you pass through the deli, they got all that hot cake stuff, and you're like, oh, those potato wedges are new. They smell like they're seasoned good. That's some good seasoning on those. I'm gonna take a pound. Yeah, because it was kind of like, you know, the same with me. Like, you know, I just started like picking up snacks coming home, and then I was like, because at my heaviest, I went up to 298.
Yeah,
and then it would have been August of 2021 when I was just kind of like, dude, I'm too big. I gotta lose weight again. So I did that. Would have been for like a year, but I only lost like maybe like 20 pounds, because I was about 280 last year when we started.
Yeah.
So I did, and I tried Noom, and it didn't really do much for me. I feel like I just gave them money for things I already knew.
Is that like the app that like helps you or something? Or
yeah, because it was recommended. Like, I think it was my sister or somebody told me about it, and they were like, it really helps because it guide you and blah 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 and this and that. And you get an option to be like part of a community or get like a coach, like if you want to be like in a one-on-one coach. And supposedly they encourage you and all this stuff, but first I tried the community one, and I wasn't gonna be posting to it, you know, because you're supposed to like post your goals and people are supposed to encourage you.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna do that, dude. I'm not. Dude, I don't even post to social media, dude. Like,
I don't need people I don't know knowing about what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know, especially like, dude, like one of the reasons like I feel like we haven't done much with the podcast either is because none of us are really like social media people, you know. So like,
I mean,
it's
to be
true.
fair, you would probably be the closest one. Oh, Cass, actually.
Cass, yeah.
Cass would be, he's way out. He's an extrovert to the max.
Yeah.
You would be next in line.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm like in public and with you guys and stuff, and every once in a while I like making videos, but like I don't really sit there and like spend my life in social media, you know. Like it's hard for me to do it, dude. Like I can't do it. Like I try to get like more of a social media presence, but a lot of times I can't.
Yeah. I don't mind like showing stuff, but I don't want like everyone knowing where I'm at all the time. This thing, it's like so crazy.
Yeah,
it's weird to think that people are willing to give away that much information.
Yeah. So, you know, with that in mind, you know, like I didn't like the whole community thing, so I tried like the one-on-one coach thing. But like when I stopped using it, literally the same with like 2 texts, and then I just never heard back from them. So it was more or less, to me, I just kind of felt it was kind of like a waste of time.
It probably was. That sounds like, especially when they're managing so many people.
Yeah,
it feels like a waste too. Because the whole thing, especially when you're trying to look for that support, is you want to surround like yourself with people that want the best for you and that same kind of mindset, which helps push you to do more.
Yeah. So yeah, personally, I didn't like it, and then
because I feel like when we were going to the gym, I mean, I felt amped when I went, like to lift more. push yourself.
Yeah, because since I've been going from by myself for like almost a month now, I feel like I've been lifting a lot less.
Yeah.
A lot less heavy. I'm like 60 pounds.
Are you back to like struggling with the 25s, trying to curl them?
No, I can curl like 35, 40, but like, I don't know. I'm like, there's always a difference, you know, because, you know, I don't like, I know I don't go like the extra step to try to push myself to a certain, you know, to a certain, you know. But yeah, you know, so that was like my big goal that I feel like I did accomplish though from the last year to now. So right now I'm back down to around 240. So it's like all the pandemic weight is gone, and my goal is to lose at least another 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Go down to around 220 between like now and March. So like what, 5 months, 4 months?
Yeah, I know. I need to get back into it again too, because I was starting to slack after you left too, because like you went and got that other position and moved out of where we work, and I was just like I was going steady, still going, and then I ended up fucking getting sick like a while back too, because it's not that long. Like I was still steadily going, like maybe 2 times a week.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting sick, and I've been sick for like I was sick for like almost 2 weeks. And I think I had COVID, dude. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fine now. Backing up like that. I don't
want to catch it.
I don't got the new COVID, but yeah. Ever since then, I haven't gone since I was sick, dude. And now I'm like, I'm looking at it like I'm starting to slack off like big time, because it's been like almost 2 weeks that I haven't gone, and it's like getting close to Thanksgiving. I know I'm gonna freaking eat whenever we go out with family and stuff. Yeah. I'm just like, Yeah. I need to jump back on there, get into it.
Yeah, me too. It's like my schedule's been so like crazy. Like it's just been fluctuating. So I've been trying, you know, but like some days I close, some days I open. So it's hard, dude.
Yeah, and it's holidays, and we work in retail, so it gets pretty hectic for us.
It's around that time of year when things are just
Yep.
gonna go off the wall for a while.
So other than that, enough for our daily lives. Any new animes or anything you've been watching?
I just finished watching the new season. I just watched the new season. I think season 6 of My Hero.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one yet.
I've been trying to. I was telling Josh. It gets in right up episode 1. It just explodes, dude. It gets. Okay. Oh my god, the whole season is good.
Definitely gotta watch it now.
I also watched the Sword Village arc of Demon Slayer.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that too recently.
Again, it was good. It was decent. It's got its moments. It's emotional, then it's not emotional.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
It's flashbacky.
I mean, most of them are. I was making fun of it.
I mean, to a point. We had this conversation. This is going to derail now, but we had this conversation last time, dude. And I'm just like, and not. I mean, everybody does it. Every story does it. But like in anime, it seems like they do it a lot more. But I won't say they do it too much. But Demon Slayer, I don't need to know the whole demon's backstory when he dies, dude.
Dude, like I was making fun of it. It's like the guy from the Demon Slayer Corp gets stabbed, and then he gets a backstory. He's like, "Oh, my family was killed by demons." And then it just kind of goes back to like
they give you a whole arc in the episode for the guy that died. It's like, why?
Yeah. And then you see him like pull the sword out of him, and then he uses the sword and stabs the demon. And then we spend like another 20 minutes. Now we're watching the backstory of the demon.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh my god, it's too much, dude. The guy was evil when he was a freaking lie. Before he became a demon. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, he's like that one, the last one.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to. It wasn't me. You were still the same. You were still a piece of crap, and you're still a piece of crap now. Like, geez, I don't need to know this. I hate you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it was a whole bunch of forced empathy, or sympathy, to have with the characters.
Yeah, it feels like that a lot, but it still doesn't compare to
One Piece.
One Piece
does it way too much, dude.
They do. It's like in the middle of the fight, and they give you like an entire arc. It's kind of like they forgot what they were doing in the middle of it.
So I told you I started watching it. I watched so I was on episode 521. I'm now at 690 something. Mm-hmm. So I've watched over 100 episodes again. Like I've been back on it, but dude, like Punk Hazard, the one I'm on. Oh my god! I called Josh when I finished. Like when I said I was finished with it, it was so frustrating to watch, dude. There was a whole lot of the I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oh, I got you. They're right here in my grasp. I got you. Oh, he got away. Oh, darn it. Oh, wait. I got you. Oh, he snuck away. Oh, I'm like, come on, man. Come on, you're right there. Come on. And then that ends, and then this is filler, so it's not really a huge spoiler, because none of this, like even Josh was telling me, he's like, dude, you could just skip this. It just has nothing to do with the actual story, but they get out of all that frustrating crap of like going back and forth on Punk Hazard to getting caught and captured and having collars put around their neck, to where some dude has to, like, every time he speaks, they have to obey what he says.
And is this not canon?
It's not part of the main story. And it was just so frustrating because he collared everyone and now they got to obey him. I'm like, what is this? And obviously, the first thing that clicked in my head when it went off was like, oh. And he said it. He's like, you got to do whatever I say. Like, I forget what it says, but I was like, man, why don't they just plug their ears up? And then the next episode, they plugged their ears. I'm like, what the?
It's funny.
Oh, my God, dude. It's so weird. It was weird. But he was like, oh, I want you guys to fight to the death and kill each other. I'm just like, oh, my God, we're going through this BS again.
Yeah. Like, I'm like towards the end of Fishman Island.
Yeah,
Just checking right now. I'm in episode 571. So it's literally like the first arc that happens after the time skip. I mean, so far, I don't hate it.
It's 571?
Yeah.
Oh, then, man, I must be ahead. I got my numbers mixed up because I am way ahead of you. I know that.
Yeah. Because it says, like, he just literally finished writing, like, the second hour long. I don't remember his name.
I know you're talking about.
I don't remember his name, but yeah.
That was a cool fight, though. I liked it. I liked the fight. It was actually pretty good, but it was really lame how fast it ended, though.
Dude, it's just like, my biggest problem with that is, like, I've been talking about it for like a long time. I know we talked about it the other day too, but it's just like, my biggest problem with One Piece is the pacing of the fights, dude. The fact that in every time something is supposed to happen, Luffy gets captured. They kind of hype it up to be like this amazing thing that's about to happen, and then like half of the fight is just him being knocked down.
Yeah.
Like when he fights Buggy for the first time and he's in a cage.
You know what's funny? It's like every single fight too, they win with the power of friendship.
Oh my God.
There's some kind of like emotion, like, you do it, and I'm doing this for everybody. It's like, it's so funny.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, to me personally, the biggest thing with One Piece was that when they first introduced Buggy, he's in the cage. Same thing happens when he goes against Crocodile. He's in the cage. When he fights number 3 in the giant island, spoiler alerts, he gets like hypnotized or some shit by that one girl while everybody else is like getting killed with wax.
Oh, yeah.
When he fights the guy when they're in Sky Island, Skypiea, he gets that giant thing of gold in his arm and he spends half the fight just like trying to get up the beanstalk.
Oh, yep. I remember that.
It was like Luffy and the beanstalk. And he finally, like, the entire fight is just literally him hitting the guy with a giant ball of gold that he put in his hand. And that's how it ends.
Yeah, I mean, it is One Piece. It's goofy.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a rough take, but I feel like people have watched it for so long that they have to stay invested and hype it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like I said, overall, I like the world building. The story is coherent enough, you know, it's got a goal set in mind. There's certain things that I get, you know, like I had always asked a question, like, why did characters change the way they look throughout, you know, the series? And nobody had actually given me like a straight answer, and I was kind of looking at it, but I guess the creator guy, was it Oda, the creator? I guess like in a statement he said, like, you know, in the One Piece world, those that follow their dream, basically like they get like a glow up, and those that kind of like give up on it get a glow down.
Oh, okay.
So that's why, like, a lot of times, like, their appearance change, which is why, like, it's supposed to explain why, like, Robin changes, like, after that time skip. It's because she now has a purpose after she joins the crew.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was the explanation that was given to me, and I mean,
I feel like that's like an after. I don't know if I can
like
really
an afterthought.
That was like an afterthought. Like, oh, I need a reason. Here we go.
I mean, but it makes sense.
It does make sense.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll take it.
Because just like, you know, we probably just said that, and then it's like, maybe I'm not saying like out of any like, I feel like I'm just a hater all the time, dude. But I'm like, dude, it feels like you like, you get so far and then you need a reason why you do these things.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely.
And to where like fake it till you make it type thing. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's true now.
It's like one of the things, like why some of the earlier devil fruits don't fit with that type there are, and it's because there weren't any types until like he started developing the story later on.
Dude, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how everything, because okay, I'm watching One Piece. I know the story, but I'm still trying to like get the world. I watch so much other stuff, and I'm constantly listening and reading books. So I got so much jumbled like fiction in my head that I can't. I don't know. For some reason, One Piece doesn't click with me all the time, like how all their powers work. But like the devil fruits, I'm trying to get like the zone types and all that stuff. That like, and then there's layers to every like. Dude, they're like fighting and explaining, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember this. I gotta what's going on?
Yeah,
they lose me.
And then there's like certain things, like when Luffy sets his hand on fire, he does like a move from Ace.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, so he's got fire powers now?
Yeah, there's things like that happen. Like he just his blood boils so much that he set his hand on fire. And
I guess, yeah. Humble. I mean, when he does the metal hand thing, I guess I'm like, okay, hockey, yeah, it's like, all right, so it's hockey. It's like a new power up, and I guess it's not a new introduction because they used it in Skypiea. They just call it something else, and they've shown clips of it and kind of like certain things that happened throughout the series. So it's not something we can say that it was like a brand new thing. But when they kind of get into it and they kind of explain it more, it almost feels like a cop out to bring like a whole new system.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like what they did in Naruto Shippuden.
Oh, can I just take a moment and be like, I wonder if Cass, if he ever listens to this,
no.
Like, oh no, they just don't understand. No, God.
Yeah, probably.
And Josh is gonna be like, yeah, they just. Look, I'm waiting for them to come in and just like no. You see, then I could just imagine Cass with a finger on the table. This is why. I'm like
oh. No, what? It's probably smack us and shit. No, I'm saying, like, I think it's kind of a cop out because it kind of reminds me of like when the Naruto Shippuden started, and then like because throughout the entire series of Naruto, there was chakra.
Yeah.
And they've got this entire system of chakra, and then you got ninjutsus and all this other things, and all these people that have different power ups, and certain people that are born with certain abilities that only are part of that clan.
Yeah,
and that's it, right? And then almost right away into Naruto Shippuden, it's like, by the way, chakra comes in different flavors. Do you have wind chakra?
Dude, I remember
Do you
that.
Got
I was just chakra? Like, I thought it was like the universal force of the Naruto universe, and then there's like different versions of it now.
Yeah, like, it's like. Are you in wind? It's like, did you just combine it with like the Avatar? Like, what just happened? Like out of nowhere, it just seemed like they just kind of threw a curveball. And it kind of makes sense a little bit if you're like, okay, so they were teaching him and they were kids and it was just kind of like what they knew. And now they're kind of like more going to adolescence, so their power's going to grow. So now they kind of get to develop like more of their abilities.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, we have adults that are fighting. We've got all these people. They've been fighting ninjas that are full-grown adults when they're like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
and they're using like the same power level. Yeah,
how they and how they freaking explain this as you're watching it and you get used to it, and then it's a complete 180 switch. Like they knew this the entire time, and it was like it's like conspiracy theory. Like, dude, like some government cover up, dude. Like and they knew and they couldn't tell anybody.
And then like when you start getting more into Shippuden, and then they just stop doing like the hand signs. Yeah, they stop and they just
everything's instant
power. Yeah, I'm like, okay, certain animes have kind of like, I guess you call it a cop out or whatever, but they give you a bit of an explanation. Like the one we just watched, the Wise Man's Grandson.
Oh yeah,
when it's like, oh, you're supposed to chant your spells, and then this kid is get born into like the world. He's like an isekai style.
Yeah, that was an isekai.
Yeah, and then
like overpowered character.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, oh, if you just can envision it, then you can just do it without casting a spell. And it teaches people how to do it, and then people within that world, they learn how to do it. But it's like a very small select people that can actually do it. But I feel like in Naruto there was no explanation. People just started doing shit.
Yeah.
In One Piece,
definitely. They just went with it because Naruto was so hype and so cool that people were focusing a lot more on the fights. And I think as time went on, those fights,
just
I mean,
exploded.
the story was still good. Everything was there, right? But they just kind of like ignored things to kind of just move the narrative along, and everything just was like, oh man, that was cool, that was cool. And I think over time, it's just like one of those things where you just kind of forget. Like, I almost feel like it's like a Mandela effect. Like, dude, was it? Didn't they always do it? Didn't they always do it? And it's like, I swear to God, you go back and watch it, it's like not there.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't know, like going back to One Piece, you know, they give us a little of an explanation, and like I said, there's trace of certain abilities throughout the series. You know, like when they do that Water 7, and then you see those people that they kind of do like the wind running.
Oh yeah.
And then now. Post time skip, Sanji can do it. So, you know, you get like little glimpses of certain powers, and then now they can do it. So it's like, okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like, dude, I don't know. I feel like there was so much that wasn't planned out correctly. But you can't really, like you said, you can't really criticize it because people are like, no. And I'm like, dude, every anime has its flaws.
Yeah.
Every anime has it doesn't matter what it is. Every manga, every story, dude. One of my favorite series, you know, Saint Seiya, you know, one of the biggest things that I could never figure out is why sometimes when they have abilities, they like slow the ability down, and it's them literally just throwing punches like at the speed of sound, the speed of light, whatever. And in other times, is them quite literally just shooting like little rays and lasers out of their fingers.
Oh yeah,
it is the exact same attack. You know what I mean?
I watched like when they're in the tournament in the very beginning.
Yeah,
and like dude, it gets so weird, dude. I need to try to push myself to watch that, dude. I was like enjoying some of it, but I was like, man, this is like. I was trying to compare it to Speed Racer, dude. How they make fun of the haha. There's a lot of that when I'm watching it, man. I'm just like,
it's from the 80s, dude. What do you expect? It's an anime from
wasn't
the
Vampire
80s.
Hunter D in the 80s? God, they didn't have all that.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
But yeah. I mean, there are things to criticize about One Piece too. Like I find it enjoyable to watch what it is because my friends like watching it too, and it's fun to conversate. Yeah. But as I'm watching it, every time, the more and more that I watch, I feel like we've been watching this for so long that I have to like hype it up. Like, it's good too, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I feel like there's too much dragging on. There's too much flashbacks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's especially like once you get to like certain parts. Yeah. And then they literally just kind of give you a recap.
Yeah, there's always every episode, especially if you're watching it. Every episode is like the first 5 to 8 minutes is literally a recap. Mm-hmm. Then you get into the freaking episode, and they do a flashback to like episodes or an arc ago or something like that. Like something that hypes them up that they got to remember. I'm just like, what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I'm wondering how far they're gonna go with the live action and how because. Live action was actually pretty good, but
from what I was hearing, they were planning like 8 seasons.
8 seasons. Because I was like talking to Josh about this the other day. I'm like, it's good that they did this. Like the anime's still freaking going, and I'm just like, man, how are they gonna do this with their live action? Because the actors are eventually gonna age. There's gonna be some difference. So either they're gonna start pumping these out nonstop because they're cutting a lot of the stuff that makes sense to staying the core story, which I think is good. Yeah.
That's like, I mean. There's criticisms to be made about the live action, obviously, because it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good. But yeah, I do feel like some of the things, they kind of cut them down so much to where like you couldn't get like the same emotions out of it. But at the same time, I like the fact that they cut a lot of the fights out and they made them straight to the point, which I feel that that's what should have been from the very beginning in all the fights. You know, Luffy doesn't have to be like stay in a cage for half a fight. You know? No.
Have to fight a whole episode, dude. A whole like 2-3 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, he was in a fish tank though, so I guess it wasn't that much better. But yeah.
30. We could try it there. We're just us two, yeah. Yeah. I don't mind. I mean, I can still find more stuff to talk about. Like the other day when we saw that. What was it? No Goal.
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
I think it's like Last Goal Wins or something.
Last Goal Wins. Yeah.
Let me see.
All I know is that was like I wasn't expecting that. We went to go see a mystery movie, and we did not know what it was. So our buddy Felix, like, kind of this dude went full on detective mode and matched the actual timestamps and the length of movies and narrowed it down to this movie. He was like, dude, I was looking at it, I was researching, I saw all the movie times, and I kept playing connect the dots until I came upon this. And I'm like, bro, you got too much time in your hands to be doing that.
Yeah, that was funny. But it's funny though, because we were there at Next Goal Wins.
Next Goal Wins, okay.
Which is actually releasing this week on the 17th, so we actually saw it like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Mystery Movie Mondays.
It's a really goofy movie. It's like a good family fun flick to have on. I can see myself just putting it on, like if I just catch it out of the blue and see it on, just watching it again.
Watching it, yeah.
Like
it wasn't bad. Like like I remember like even watching the commercials of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. And all of it.
Oh yeah, it looked like a good little comedy. I didn't think it was gonna go that hard with comedy. I thought it was gonna be like a little very lighthearted thing and try to take it serious. But no, it was a full blown comedy. Yeah, based on a true story.
I like how it starts off like spoiler alerts, but like it starts with a guy basically telling you like, oh, it's mostly true.
It's mostly true.
It's like, but we took our liberties, you know.
I like the dude that comes in. Oh Lord, I'd like to just thank everyone for coming today. And I know I was late or something, but these things happen and blah blah blah. Just like
yeah, that's
I mean, it's a spoiler. Like the whole thing that had me giggling like at the start was like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, because when they were doing the whole thing when they flew in and they had the camera. And that dude's like filming it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, who's on that plane or whatever like that." Yeah. They go through the whole interview, and then he puts the camera down. And he goes, "Hi, I'm the one that you need to talk to. I'm like the guy in charge."
Yeah. And he's like, "You're also the camera." Like, "Oh, we have many jobs."
He's like, "Come, we'll take you to your place," and then he's the bus driver too.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was
the only thing that annoyed me. I thought we were going to be able to have the whole seat. Dude. I wish we would think about that. Like when we go in, they're like, "Oh, spread it out. These are taken."
I mean, yeah.
I was like, man, that was enough seatage for like the 3 rows right there. And that one dude was just sitting on the end, and he had his bag in the seat. I was like, me and my brother were going to sit down, and we're like, he went and sat in the end because he got scared. He got scared.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say surprisingly that was a very good movie. And when we got out, there were some people talking trash, like it sucked. And I was like, what did these people watch, dude? Did they want to see another Marvel movie? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
That was like even the one before that, the other mystery movie, I thought that was actually pretty good for what it was.
It was called
A Wonderful Knife.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it was a slasher flick. Like it was meant to be gory and stuff like that.
But it was also goofy.
It was so goofy.
It was a comedy. It was an obvious
movie.
It was an obvious comedy.
And you know what was great about that? Because I looked at cast. So I was like, well, yeah, black person died first.
Dude, when we went to watch that one, Cass was sitting next to me, dude. I had like commentary about what's going on the entire time.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh no.
I wish I was next to him, dude. I would have been egging that on. That was comedy, bro.
It was pretty good. You're like taking turns trying to guess who was gonna be like the next victim and shit.
Yeah, I was like when she went on the bridge. Spoiler, but when she went on the bridge, it was like, I wish I was never born. And I was like, oh my god, it's a Christmas horror miracle.
Yeah.
It was like she never stopped the killer.
The murders kept on going. Yeah, it was pretty good too. Well, I mean, I wasn't really expecting it. I mean, I don't know. I honestly hadn't even heard of that movie.
I didn't either. It's going to come out on Shudder. It's not going to be in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, you probably will never watch anything on Shudder. It's nothing but horror. But yeah, for what it was, I thought it was a good movie. And like I usually criticize a lot of movies. It's mostly because we watch a lot of like really hyped up. Like I've said this before in previous podcasts, but like people like watch a lot of garbage and like big explosions and stuff. That's when I'll start to criticize the movie because they rely too much on the effects and the action and the storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which, like I was supposed to go see the new Marvels movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't go. I was like I watched reviews and I just been watched the trailers, and if you were paying attention to anything that came out during that time, they were advertising the cats more than they were the movie.
I think I've seen like one trailer, and that's when they swap out like places.
Yeah, they swap and all that stuff. But they started doing these things where they put the cats on posters and stuff like that.
I didn't see that.
You know, because in the trailer, the cat comes out and has all those tentacles come out of its mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going along with that, egging it on so much, and then they even did a live stream of nothing but kittens saying that they were the aliens of the Marvels coming out soon. And you can donate and like feed the kittens and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, they're relying on the cats to sell the movie.
So it wasn't a good movie.
Audience score had an 86, and like I said, people like to watch like a lot of garbage as long as it's like big booms and.
Well, I heard it was a lot more lighthearted than the first one.
Yeah,
like what's her name that plays the Carol Danvers, like mellowed out a lot. So
what's her name? The one that plays the Miss Marvel, that little girl. And I heard that she was. I'm probably gonna watch it on my free time whenever I get a chance. Yeah, but I heard that she was the one good thing about the movie. Like she was a great character and a good actor for that role. But the rest of them were kind of They weren't too bad, but it's like, but it was over $100 million movie, right? It only made like 47 million opening.
Man, that sucks.
It's the worst performing MCU movie that they've had.
But they already knew that was gonna happen, though.
I think that's why they were doing so much, though.
I mean, and to be fair, I did watch the Miss Marvel show.
You know what it felt like too? What? It felt like a direct response to the Pandaverse from South Park. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Make her a woman and make her gay.
And lame. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. They were right.
Yeah. Well, I was saying though, like, I watched the miniseries they did for Disney Plus, Miss Marvel, and I didn't mind it. It wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, the best thing ever, but as far as all the Marvel shows is coming out, I thought it was one of the better ones. Yeah. And it was one of the ones that was like the least hyped.
I watched some of it too, and I was like, I enjoyed her character.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like compared to like the WandaVision, which was everywhere, and everybody was like, "Oh my God!"
I don't understand that.
It wasn't.
The thing that frustrated me about that, it was just like, really, it was like I'm watching a huge show about a gimmick of like different stages.
Yeah.
And then that you only get like 10 minutes of the actual story at the end of the episode. Yeah,
and then personally, this is my own personal opinion. I did not feel that it was like a good payout.
No,
going into Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. I didn't think it was a good payout. I mean, I kind of figured they were gonna make her the bad guy, but I don't know, dude. Like, there was no real redemption arc to it. No, it went in a really weird way to where, like,
the multiverse. Did you go with us when we saw it?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember watching it and I was like, it was a good action flick for what it was, but it wasn't a good movie.
It wasn't.
It was so weird. Man.
And again, with the whole like Pandaverse thing of like make her a woman and make her gay. Like, people were like overhyping what's her name? The one like Mexican chick that does like the jumping thing.
And you know what always trips me out about this whole Marvel thing is it's like after the movie comes out, people come up with these theories of like how they connect and all this. The reason this happened back in this movie is because this right here, and that's why it happened in this movie. I'm like, dude, no one would have really made that connection. And I feel like people just constantly do these like theories and spider webs, like the whole like, you know, like the guy on the wall with the pencil, like, oh, this is how it all connects, right? Yeah. And then the big studios are like, okay, yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah, that's why. I feel like they're feeding. Like no,
they're feeding their own
special.
Algorithm.
We gotta keep feeding them. Feed the special people.
Yeah, but yeah, no, because like I was saying that, like, so with WandaVision, I didn't feel there was a payout in the movie, but also this character they introduced, like America something,
America Chavez.
Yeah. So by the end of the movie, she could control her powers, and I thought we were gonna see more of her. I mean, I didn't think she was a great character. Like, I think they overhyped it, but at the same time, I thought they were gonna do something with it. And to this point, I don't think I've seen her anywhere else.
No, you know? Yet. I mean, we got
the Loki came out. Now they're on season 2. I think it was like She-Hulk came out. Yeah, all the other movies that came out after that shit.
I think Felix is the only one that pushes everyone else to watch this stuff, but I just gave up watching all that.
I haven't even watched the second season. I didn't finish Ahsoka, dude. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, I'll get back to you.
I can't, like, when I'm first watching, like, the man, Dude, the Mandalorian and all those things, they're good for what they are. I'll give them that. But like, I went back and tried to rewatch the Mandalorian and actually watch it as like a critique, like just to kind of be like, because I wanted to see how well they're building up stuff. I'm like,
it wasn't that great.
It was pretty. I would say it was pretty
bland.
bad. Dude.
Yeah, it was just pretty bland. Yeah,
I was like, I think the most hype thing about it was every time Baby Yoda came on screen because everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so cute."
Yeah, that was like when I think we might have mentioned it like a while back. Yeah, when we're doing podcasts a little more regularly, but I mean I've said it before and I've talked to people about this too. You know, I'm like, people criticize season 3 that Bo-Katan took center stage and this and that and blah blah blah, but I'm like, the way the series is presented, I didn't feel there was much of a change between the first 2 seasons and season 3. People just looked at it differently because there was a new character that was introduced, and it's actually an older character, you know. And to be fair, I didn't mind it. I didn't think season 3 was bad. People kept trashing it, but I'm like, it fit within the story and with it like what was built for that universe for those 3 seasons. The one thing I wish they would have done is they would have introduced the episodes where, like, spoiler alerts, Baby Yoda gets back with Mandalorian as part of the Mandalorian and not in the book of Boba Fett. I felt like they
had to do that just to keep audience interaction because everyone.
Well, but if they wanted to keep the audience interaction, they could have not taken those episodes in the book of Boba Fett.
The only reason I say this too because my parents watch it and they're not like huge. Like people like, oh, we gotta watch the next big Star Wars thing. They were enjoying the show and they were kind of weaning off. They were like, it's okay. But every time something with Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian came on, they're like, oh my god, the episode was so good. It was so great. I'm just like, okay, oh my god.
Yeah, but that's my point though. Like instead of trying to rely on that, the book of Boba Fett should have been about Boba Fett, and they could have made it better. They could have made it better. That was like my biggest critique with when they did that Obi-Wan, dude. Like it was such a hype thing. We all wanted to see like Ian McGregor back. We all wanted to see Hayden Christensen back, and they brought him back, and there was like this huge production, and the story wasn't good.
It wasn't good, and I don't even think the fight was good. I thought it was so weird seeing it like that, dude.
It was
so way over the top. Yeah. I mean, we all know Vader's powerful, but there was never been any filmic representation of it. But it's so uncanny to actually see it happen, right? Because it's all done through like books and other media, right? But it's like it doesn't feel like it actually belongs because when you watch the original trilogy, like the overwhelming power that he had was just like almost like presence, and it didn't feel like that when I watched it, dude. It just felt like it felt like some One Punch Man anime stuff, dude.
Yeah,
like, everyone just throw rocks at everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I think there would have been like a better way of doing that. But personally, I was hoping that would have been a show that I would have had loved to see more of a flashback. And if it would have been more of a flashback, like the whole series, you know, where we get to see them in their conflict, you know, that they're about to go into this massive fight, which is canon and does take place. They do fight, you know. If we would have gotten a lot more, you know, just of them master and apprentice, maybe during the Clone Wars, you know, it's like master and like Jedi Knight, you know, because in the Ahsoka series they show back, you know, like flashbacks of Anakin and he's wearing, you know, like the suit from the Clone Wars, and they even show like a younger Ahsoka, you know, like the 14-year-old when she first becomes like her Padawan. They could have done more of that, less of present, or turned to a balance of both, and it would have been such a more powerful and a better story than the one they gave us. And I feel like there's so many people that have done like fan fiction that's been so much better than what they gave us.
I don't know what they're thinking when they do these. I wonder if they're trying to like still pander to a certain demographic audience for certain things, or keep it really, really, really PG and understandable for kids to watch. But it's still weird because it's not the kids. Of course, we all want our kids to like what we like, right? But it's really not. I want to say it's really not for them at this point because all the people grew up that watched it. Like,
not only that,
want that
but
continuation of the story. I feel like if they're going to still do more Star Wars stuff, they just need to do a reset and just do something completely new within the universe. and stop freaking butchering the OG characters. Like,
I mean, well, that's kind of what they were trying to do when they did like the Mandalorian thing, but then they just kind of didn't do anything else with it.
And we'll be right back after this short break. There we go.
Okay, where was I?
I don't know. Where were you? There's something like
I was complaining about Star Wars.
Yeah. Complaining about Star Wars and how they like
butcher everything.
They're doing what they do.
Yeah, because you were saying that a lot of it's for people that grow up and stuff, you know, like in. Like, but the thing is, like, okay, but here's the thing though. Like, I remember watching Star Wars when I was a kid, and I was like, "This is good. I like it." And it was the exact same movies that would have come out in the 70s, you know?
Yeah.
Because there was nothing new at that point. Maybe the Ewoks movie. It was kind of campy. But, I mean, it's like, I don't know, because there's no real, like, good narrative to say that they're doing it a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, to try to, like, grab a new audience. Because if they just did a good show, the audience will show up.
Yeah. True.
Which is weird that they're not doing
that. I don't know. I feel like...
But again,
I think there's too much milking of the franchise. Really, I honestly will say, I think it really is too much milking of the franchise. Like, it's been going on too long with the same characters. Like, just stop, make something new.
Yeah,
just let that story end. And it's like they don't want to let go of that little like you know, the little golden apple that keeps everything alive. Eternity is right there, dude.
Yeah.
Just keep milking that thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
little bites.
But to be fair, like going a little bit like into like just the storytelling that's going on right now, like, and not just in Star Wars, but just it seems like it's in everything, because it's basically they're butchering Star Wars, but it's the exact same thing they did with like the Wheel of Time, which we've already talked about it. Oh my gosh, yeah. We're like, dude, you've got books, you've got 30 years worth of books. What are you doing?
Oh man,
you know
that upset me so much because I knew the thing was out and I wasn't paying attention to when the release was. And my mom's a heavy binger of TV. Mm-hmm. She just needs to watch something all the time. Like, I got to have something to watch. She's older and she has nothing to do. Yeah. And I remember walking through. I'm like, "Oh, what are you watching?" She goes, "It's this new show called the Time Wheel or the Wheel." I'm like, "Is it?" I'm like, "Well, let me see. Pause it." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's the Wheel of Time." And then I was watching it with her for a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh my God, they cut out so much stuff." I'm like, "What the hell? What? Oh!" And man, the age differences in the characters and everything, that I'm just like, dude, what are they doing? What are they doing? And they I don't know. It's when you read something, there's a certain maturity that you're reading and that helps drive the story along, and they take all that out, to make it TV friendly.
I mean, I don't know why they could just slap it for mature ratings. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a mature rating regardless. They could have left a lot of in it. It's on Prime. Dude, HBO shows nudity. Yeah. Sometimes it goes into like borderline porn with the way they kind of produce some other shit. They can leave it in there. There's no reason for them to try to make it TV friendly. It's on a service. It's on a platform and you're paying for it.
It's not like something, because in the beginning, it's like heavily emphasized why certain things like this are the way they are, right? And it's like it doesn't carry that much over as the story goes on. And it starts to narrow out, but there's a reason why all this starts off, like to see why they do these things and get their powers and do all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, they kind of skipped over a lot of stuff and just put like women in charge.
Yeah, it's like, did they go over the whole thing that when men use magic they start going insane? They kind of
They go through that stuff. Like, that's the main driving point of the story, and he's the first one ever to use it without going insane. And they still collar him and drag him along through the stuff. And then he breaks. There's this whole thing that starts happening.
Because I to be fair, I haven't really watched it. I just heard reviews about it. I'm like, I'm not want to watch it, dude. So far, okay. The Ring of Power was another one that you're like, dude. Why? You got lore. There's books. There's manuscripts of books that weren't actually completed. There's a whole thing of like the first age, second age, third age, and they just kind of show up, and then they literally do the exact same thing.
That was a heavily freaking pandered TV show. You can't tell me that wasn't.
It was.
Those are women glory kind of moment, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, they got all this stuff. They can just like take it like an anime, manga, anime. It's almost always shot for shot. I mean, there might be some differences, but the story goes pretty much hand in hand. They've got books series and everything, and they just go in there and they just destroy it.
You know what? Game of Thrones did a good thing too when they were first coming out. I read the first 5 books, and then the show was coming out and stuff like that, and I was like reading it as the show was still going, and I'm like, you know what? There's not many huge differences. Like there's some things I was like, they could have done this, blah 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 blah, but it wasn't too bad. There's a reason why that show was still good, and why the last season freaking sucks and no one likes it.
Oh yeah, I saw this whole thing where like they're making fun of it.
Yeah.
The guy's like, so we're gonna go ahead and like do like spread this out to like 8-9 episodes so people can know what's going on. Oh no, we're gonna run through it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
they couldn't wait. Dude, I understand, and it's like a corporate decision and all that too, because they have a big snowball going. They want to keep that money rolling.
Well, apparently the decision to cut it out and everything, it was also the showrunners, so the producers or whatever it was, because they were like supposedly they had a deal where they were gonna like a Star Wars show and they were trying to jump into that.
Yeah, they wanted.
But then like the show, their last season sucked so much they got basically fired from the other project as well. So they ended up with nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like they want that money ball that's just going, dude. They're trying to just keep that thing going, like.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
No matter where it lands, dude, we're gonna finish this and jump to the next big thing.
Yeah,
because our names on top and we're making all the bank.
You know which one I thought was good though? It's a series, Shadow and Bone.
I haven't watched that one yet.
I
remember seeing. I've seen that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I haven't watched the second season to it, but I watched the first season, and I'm not like too familiar into the books. I read the first book. I haven't really got too much into that series. I was kind of, I think it's like a trilogy or something, and I know I was eventually gonna get to them, but I haven't. But it's decently good. You know,
I definitely
like,
gotta check that out.
It's,
I was about to say, you know what's weird to me, because I was thinking about it the other day. It's like one of the last really good like adventure, like made me feel part of the world and like we were there. Remember the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out?
Yeah.
Right. How come? I mean, they've been steady like that pretty much throughout the entire series. There's no movies that are like that now.
Like what?
Like that make you feel part of the adventure, like you're there to keep you like hooked.
That's because,
you know what, like it's
okay, yeah, but I mean, I think that has a lot to do with the characters too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Jack Sparrow's like an icon at this point.
Yeah.
And that was like the driving force throughout the movies.
Well, even look at what's her name too, because she evolves. She's a really good character. The daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's a really good character, dude.
Yeah.
She has a lot of like hooking moments where you just want to see her go.
Yeah.
She's like she does it all, dude. Mm-hmm. So eventually she becomes her own freaking like running the whole ship by herself.
Yeah. And then the other guy too.
Like, dude, there's shots when you're watching that movie. Remember when they're fighting on that wheel and they're going and you kind of see him get up, and you're just like, there's serious moments, but funny comedy right there. Like, there's just like, it was so well rounded and shot, dude. Like, it was so fun because you're like interacting, like really, like, oh my god, yeah, damn, ooh, that's crazy. And then all of a sudden, a goofy moment comes up, and you're laughing, having fun, while watching something serious happen. It's not like anything.
Yeah, because
no movies like that, other than the last one we watched, which was pretty good because there is serious moments.
That was pretty good, yeah. But again, because all right, going back to that one. Spoiler alerts for a movie that hasn't actually been released properly yet. We saw it like 2 weeks ahead of time. There was a trans character, and obviously it's based on a true story. So the trans person is a representation of a real person.
I was expecting people to like
you know,
have a
yeah, but like it was done in a way to where it was there, but it wasn't like in your face, like I'm a woman. In fact, the entire time.
I actually like the character too. I enjoyed seeing the character.
Yeah, because they give like a good explanation of what like she was going through, you know, and they kind of do this whole thing, you know, like she's a trans character, she's a man turning into a woman, but still has enough hormones or whatever, and is playing a man team, you know, and that was literally all the explanation we got. And then after that, the fact that she was trans wasn't even brought up. Yeah. I mean, obviously it was kind of seen, and there was like, I mean, towards the end of the movie. But it was just a character that was in the movie. It wasn't like, I'm better than you because I am woman. Like, if they made characters like that to where, like, they were first a real human being, and then as a secondary, you know, that's a good story.
Yes, I agree with
you know,
that.
and we're talking about, okay, so now Pirates of the Caribbean, it's a good story because it was meant to be entertaining. They got those characters, and they're doing what they're supposed to do.
And you know what? When you think about it, too, like you said, the characters in that movie felt very real. Like they were just their own being. Like they're humans. they're not like trying to push some narrative
agenda.
like,
Yeah, you know,
or agenda. Yeah,
yeah, because I think that's the biggest thing. You know, like it's like the Mary Sue effect. They get these characters and they give them way too much, way too soon, without an explanation as to what. Ring of Power. What's her name?
Galadriel. I was gonna say Galadriel.
Yeah, like that one. Very first scene we see her, well, as an adult, because I guess we see her when she's a child.
Yeah. When they fight that troll.
Yeah, even before that, dude. Like when they're like climbing,
like in their kids and shit, and she's like the smartest one and knows everything, and they're making fun of her because of it.
Yeah. Well, there was that, and then when they're climbing the ice, you know, she's always like the first one, like keep up, I am woman. I'm like, dude, they're elves. None of them should have had problem climbing that shit. Yeah. Elves are supposed to be light as hell.
They're supposed to be quick on their feet, light as hell. They should be able to find every like little...
Yeah. The way they were like climbing, it seemed like she was the only one that was like capable of doing that. You know, and there was no real explanation, and she was just kind of bitchy the entire fucking series. I was like, you know?
Yeah. It is weird. I was like, oh my god, that was like people that watch that, like they have to see the difference between then and now. Yeah, how stuff is kind of like phasing out because that was just like over the top, just pushing like.
Yeah, because it was dumb, you know, and I feel like that's a lot of that series, you know.
Yeah,
that's what they did with the Halo series too.
Oh, they butchered the Halo series.
My god, dude, it was so bad. I only watched the first 3 episodes.
The fact that Master Chief went so long without his helmet bugged the crap out of me too.
He kept taking his suit off like every 2 seconds.
I was just like, and then they have the Covenant girl. I'm like, why, dude? They're not trying to freaking take us with them. They're trying to get rid of us.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could have done so much with that Halo series, but I think again, it was one of those things like they needed to make it because they said they made it like they were going to for so long, and they just put someone out. Like, dude, it's like it's like this thing trying to keep your promise. Like we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
It's true. I mean,
hey, you want to make it? Yeah, just do it.
It's true, but at the same time, like the footage they had from like the film test footage from like I think it was like 2009 when they were about to do the movie, that was badass. They could have done that. They could have done that, dude. They didn't have to do this.
They could have, but they didn't. They had to keep their word and make something.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I don't know. I think it's not just like Star Wars. It's not just it's like storytelling as a whole took this weird loop in the last few years, and I'm just hoping that we're done with it. We gotta go back to good storytelling, dude. You know, people are like wondering why anime became so popular. It's like because it's like a 1-to-1 comparison. If you like the manga, more than likely you're gonna like the anime.
And you could pretty much just look at it, read the first chapter, and realize what you're in for.
Yeah.
Everything is completely jumping all over the place.
If it's a comedy, it's going to be a comedy. If it's serious, it's going to be serious. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they got a little bit like both. Like Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it tells like literally you can just read the first chapter and find out what you're in for. Yeah. So, yeah.
And nobody's pushing a narrative on you.
Yeah, you're just watching someone that made a story or reading something that made a story or watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
that was a good conversation. At least, you know what? I'll say this because I remember you're going to miss me. You're going to miss me. And I had literally had the last samurai effect. Like, oh, I will miss our conversation because no one freaking talks, dude. I'll bring a whole freaking like debate upon people, and they'll be like, yeah, no, yeah, okay, I don't know. Oh, maybe. I'm like, bro, you got nothing else to say.
You miss my little games.
The whole thing of talking about nothing and just keep going. Yeah.
And like today, we shall use words we've never actually used in conversations.
Words. Yes. Words that make us think and ponder on what our next words would be. Words that give us power and influence over others. Like
I concur, dear sir. Because at times we need to speak.
The one most powerful word that we can use. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's the F word.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Fun.
Fabulous. It can be used as anything.
Furious.
A verb. A noun.
It is the best word ever.
A form of expression. There's history behind this word. It's lasted forever.
No, yeah. I mean, I miss having the ability to be able to like just bullshit at work too.
Now everyone's serious.
Oh my god, dude.
Anyway, yeah. We'll cut it there, man.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Hope to see you next time, and we hope that the next time
will be a next time. There will be
a next time.